Wow. Thank you for the introduction. Welcome to Dads Without Friends. I'm Michael and my good friend Ben. How you doing, Ben?
Hi,
It's
everybody.
been a while. Christmas and New Year's and kids getting sick. It's super fun time. So I'm glad we could do this. It's been a while.
Yeah, me too. It's Dads Without Friends and also Dads Without
Yeah.
Time to do a podcast that no one
Yeah, my
listens
wife
to.
and kid were
So,
just blowing me smoke because I came down here early to, make sure everything was working. They're like, "Oh, you're gonna pick your friend over your family?" Huh? I'm like, "I'm with you all the time. I'm good." Well, it was a joke. If it wasn't, I don't care. That's all.
hey, does your wife do all the cooking, or do you cook sometimes, or do you cook all the
She
time?
cooks most of the time. I do the grilling. I do the meats for the most part, unless it's, like something you bake. But she handles that pretty well. And I don't get home until 5:30. I usually handle most breakfasts when on the weekends. I handle that. And then,
What do you
oh,
eat?
man, French toast, pancakes, waffles, eggs, any kind. I don't poach. No one's asking me for eggs Benedicts. But
Do you do any baking? Do you make your own bread?
don't make our own bread, but we do have a nice bread that we enjoy for breakfast. I do some grits. And yes, I do bacon. In the summertime, I'll do it on the Blackstone because it's amazing.
You have a Blackstone outside?
It is outside. Yep, covered with a lid. I usually put it in the garage. I just haven't yet because I don't really. It's been cold and I don't want to grill. So I got my wife new pots and pans for her birthday. Yeah, her birthday I think. And it's got a nice square skillet where it really makes the bacon flat. That's the only thing I'm not crazy about like in a skillet because the bacon, the fat rolls up and it just doesn't lay flat. It's not like great for BLTs and things like that.
Yeah, I got you.
So
I do the microwave
oh.
and I burn it on purpose, and it's very flat in the
And
microwave.
you like the microwave burnt?
A little
Okay.
bit, yeah.
Nice.
Not like blackened, but like done to the point of it breaks into 1,000 pieces once you bite it.
Yes, I like my
It's
I
kind
like
of
mine crispy.
yeah.
But we have this
can't handle fatty.
keyboard waffle maker. It's about as long as your keyboard, and it's cast.
How do you know how long
It's
my
just a
keyboard
normal
is?
keyboard for God's sake.
Like a wait, like a keyboard, like a
No,
piano, or
like a keyboard for your desktop, if you will.
the kind with the numbers on the
Yes,
side,
numbers
or
on the
kind
side.
without the
Yep,
numbers?
it's a smart ass. It's about
I mean, that's kind of rare.
it's about
these
a
days.
foot, maybe 14, 15 inches long, right? And you just put it.
A foot is not 15 inches
Huh?
long. I don't know if you. A foot's 12 inches long, not 15.
I know. I said a little more than a foot.
Okay.
A foot
All right,
or
I
14,
gotcha.
15 inches long. So, but you just have it on the stove and you flip it over and it makes sweet keyboard. Yeah.
Keyboard? How do you put the keyboard on the
No,
stove?
it's a keyboard waffle maker. You're not listening. It's a key. I try to say that, but you kept interrupting me with.
I thought we were just using the keyboard for the size comparison.
We were,
not-
but then it's an actual keyboard waffle cast iron thing that you put on
so
and you flip it over.
You make your kids waffles that look like
Correct.
keyboards.
Absolutely. Yes. Yep.
Okay. All right. Do they like
They
that?
do. They do.
Like that? We need more keyboards. I'll have another keyboard
Another
day.
big breakfast thing we do is on the weekends, not every weekend, maybe once every 3 weeks. I'll take the girls and we'll go to get donuts. They really like that.
Oh, very nice. Yeah, sure. Who doesn't
Yeah,
like
right.
donuts?
Get them out of the house, get them to socialize with people. And, So, yeah, big breakfast guy, but it's most of dinner she makes. I offer to help, but she hasn't. She's pretty good.
Good.
I need to get on her. She hasn't made, she used to make, what's it called? Chicken cordon bleu from scratch. And it's,
Your kids eat that?
I don't care. Ben does. No, the girls are so picky. I don't even know. Like we had spaghetti tonight for dinner, and it was like pulling teeth and hair just to get him to eat it. And then when you walk away,
Yeah.
eat it. What about you?
Yeah. So I do most of the cooking. That's for everyone's sake. So my
Not
wife
bad, huh?
doesn't do it well. Yeah. I mean, if she's up, she'll, put some nuggets in the air fryer, which it's not that I don't do that.
But as far as like
But-
a meatloaf or like spaghetti or something that takes a little bit more gathering of ingredients, she's not.
Yeah. It's me. Yeah, she won't do it. Yeah. Because the kids won't eat it. And so she's like, why would I waste the time?
But
I make
they'll
the
eat
effort. Sometimes. Some of the things I make, they will eat. So I fry my own chicken. I do like my own breading.
Nice.
And then I make pasta. I make a little sauce to
Do you-
go with it.
do you do your-
They call it dad
Do
chicken.
you do the chicken in the air fryer?
No.
Okay.
No, I do it. I use cast
Nice.
iron.
Yeah.
I like cast iron.
Cast iron salad.
Yeah.
I wish mine was bigger.
I like it.
Mine's not very big. I can only get like 2 steaks in it.
I have the same problem. I got like a 12-inch one. I want a bigger one too because I do like 3 rounds of chicken to make
But
all
the
that I want.
lid, we know there's like a pot size that's like 4 inches, and then the lid is like that. So it's 2 technically, but you can do like 2 steaks in one and the other, and they're just not cooking the same time. It's
Right. I don't want to track all that. I want one thing.
yeah. Normally when I do steak inside on the cast iron.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. So I
Yeah.
season it, and then I just use dickload of butter, and then
A dick load.
Then I'm trying to get a sear, and I'm trying to perfect the nice sear on both sides, and then kind of buttering it through to get to the medium rare that we want. So I'm trying to hold in my skills. I just can't.
Yeah, no, I am too. I feel like I'm sick of going out to eat. It's too expensive, and like half the time it's not good, right? I'm not getting what I want.
It's so expensive.
And I was like,
good Lord.
right. And it's just like, even like McDonald's got more expensive. Like, how does the stupid McChicken?
It's like
get more
everything's
expensive? It's always
double. Everything
just
costs double
Yeah.
than what it used to.
Yeah. So that's why I'm trying to like make the food that I want at home. And I know like the first time I make it's gonna be gross, but then I just keep trying.
Yeah, keep working on it.
Like I've made the chicken thing. They call it Marry Me Chicken, is where I started my recipe, and I've now modified it over like literally I've done it like 300 times. And now it's like my favorite meal. Even like maybe not like a steak if I go to a steakhouse, but like I'd rather eat that than most of the stuff that I can go out and get.
Okay, what can you share this recipe? Really?
I mean, it's fried chicken, and then
No, but like are you like trying to hold this dear to your heart, or are you afraid that I'm not gonna like it?
No.
Or you should not give a shit.
No, I didn't quite good at it.
What's the breading like?
Crust. I don't know if this is interesting or not, but all my life I thought you dipped your chicken in egg and then in flour.
No,
and that's wrong.
Yeah, it's flour, egg, and then batter,
and then
the whatever.
I had no idea. I've been doing it wrong my entire life.
You know, I took 3 semesters of foods class at Concordia Lutheran High School, so
I know.
No, yeah, it's I don't do a lot of that. Laura does that, but I don't. I can. I just haven't. I've tried to experiment on making my own fried macaroni cheese balls, but that has not been successful.
You gotta keep at it.
I know, but I haven't tried. I haven't tried it a long time.
Frying macaroni can be your key to victory. You could fry the best macaroni.
No, that's not something I want to hang my hat on. I really don't. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So what else is new?
Anyway, here's the thing. It's been weeks since we recorded the last episode of Dads Without Friends, and on that episode, you revealed something that I found horrific. That you put your one leg of underwear on and then one pant leg.
No,
wait, that's not. It's a pant and then a sock and then a shoe and then the other pant, sock, and shoe.
No, it's just sock, shoe, and then sock, shoe. I mean, you're making it a bigger deal than it is.
Yeah, no, that's the wrong way to do something.
It's fine. I catch myself not doing it every time, just so you know. But
don't change.
I'm not changing. It's just sometimes I change it up.
Your freaks.
Like you never take the same route to school or work every day because it's monotonous. You change it up sometimes. That's what I do.
I live in Atlanta. You can't do that. You have to go.
Well, I mean, I'm just using traffic as an example. There's many other examples.
So a fire breaks out in the dead of winter, you're going to run outside, you're going to have one shoe on and one barefoot.
Let's be honest, I'm throwing on the slippers, if anything, or I'll be barefoot. I don't know. I mean, yes, it's semi-ridiculous, but I don't think it's terribly unheard of. There's other people that have thought this through. And
I don't think so. I think
the number's small, but there is. I mean, I didn't come up with this myself. I saw a few years ago a poll on Twitter, and this was the question. And I've thought about it before.
Did you write
I did not. I did not.
Was it resounding? Everyone's like, why would you even pose this question? No one does.
Yeah, there's a lot of that. There's a lot of comments like that. But like the voting, I think was more, I want to say in the 80s for socks, shoe. And I thought about it. I thought about it for a few minutes and what I do, my routine, and why. And then I clicked on it, and it was the one that was, under 20 people do that.
Yeah. And I think the other 19 the people that answered that was the sarcastic answer.
I think you're being a little ridiculous here. I think that, or is it me? Am I the problem?
No, you're ridiculous by doing that. Anyway, you said that you had another thing that you did. And that was even weirder.
It is. It's really,
and I've been trying to guess what it is since you mentioned that. I mean,
it's such a broad thing, and there's zero chance that you're going to guess. However, I would love to hear what your thoughts were.
Okay, here's my first guess. You put in, when you wear contact lenses, you put in one and then brush the top half of your teeth. Then you put the other contact in, and then you brush the bottom half of your teeth.
No. Funny, but no.
I think that's just as ridiculous.
It's so not. And you are so out there trying to make me seem more ridiculous than it really is.
I got one more. Okay. For breakfast, when you have cereal and toast, you sit down, you drink the milk, then you eat the cereal dry, and then you eat the toast, and then you eat the butter separate.
No, I do eat my cereal first, and then I eat my toast. Oh, dynamite drop in. Dynamite, yeah. You gotta be a little quicker on that.
Like it's a new thing, so I'm not on it. All right. So what is the thing
Well,
that you
first off,
do
before I get into this, have you spent some time yourself thinking about that question as it relates to you?
about the sock shoe thing?
No, Dick, about something that's ridiculous that you do that other people would think that that's crazy. I sock shoe, sock shoe.
I think the closest one that I can think of is I don't think it's crazy to put milk in a bowl first and then add
Really?
cereal. People are like, "Oh, that's."
But
I
you
think
don't
that's
do
okay.
that.
No,
Yeah.
no, I don't. But I don't think it's crazy.
I don't know.
And then
I
the
don't
other
know
one,
anyone.
like
I don't know anyone,
like
by the way, that does that.
drinking like
Mhm.
chocolate milk, like with my kids want chocolate milk. Like I don't. Sometimes I switch whether I add the milk first or the dust first. I find if I add the dust first, then it all sticks to the bottom.
Yeah.
But then if I add the dust second, it's
I don't
harder
think
to stir.
that's crazy.
So
I don't think that's crazy.
I don't either. That's why when you ask, it's like there's nothing really that I think is crazy.
I mean, I like you should have thought more about it, as a friend. But I gave it 30 seconds of thought, and I already thought of one.
Okay.
And I don't know if you still do it to this day, but this is back when we used to live together.
Oh, something
Yes,
I
that's
do.
what I mean.
Oh, okay.
That's what I'm talking about. For with you, something ridiculous. One would be, and it's we're not going to rank them, so I'm just going to stop you there. That says not saying this is on the same level as sock shoe, or the thing I'm going to say, but you do a lot of pacing when you're on the phone. And it's a large amount of pacing. It's unhealthy, a large amount. You know what I mean? Like I was fearful.
Motion.
I was fearful that there's gonna be like dead spots in the carpet where like because when we lived together there wasn't like a ton of space, so you're just like pacing back and forth in your room. And I don't know. Do you still do it to this day?
So working remotely has altered that. Well, one, I don't really talk on the phone a whole lot anymore.
Right.
Two, if I am talking on the phone, it's usually confined by time so the answer is yes, but I do it like intentionally. I will do that, or like I want to have a long conversation. I'll put headphones on and purposely go to a place that I can walk around because I enjoy it.
Makes sense.
I enjoy not just sitting there.
And I don't think it's crazy. It was just crazy just because of where we were in the tight space. I think that's a great idea to get out and go, walk around with earbuds in.
Gotta get my steps in.
Right. So I mean, that's not that crazy, but I literally didn't think that long about it.
Okay, I guess I can kind of see that. Yeah, it's a little
weird.
You
do have some quirks about you. Like you do. I mean, it's been 20 years since we lived together, right? 20 plus years. I can't think of anything right
20
now.
plus.
But like,
okay,
you took your shoes off at every IU basketball game. It's kind of weird.
That was superstitious. Well, okay, so
you did it because your feet were weird. You did it because your feet was hot. Your feet were hot.
Yeah,
your dogs.
I walked up the stairs and my dogs were barking. I just took it off, and when we did that, we happened to play very, very well.
Was that the Illinois game where we had like 19 threes and all we did was celebrate?
Perhaps. So to this day, usually when you go to the basketball game, there's some drinking that occurs. So everyone's like hooting and hollering and having a good time. I am shoeless, and everyone is taking notice, and we're doing well. And so now every other time, I'm instructed by my peers to take my shoes off.
What?
And then it just became fun. It was a thing I did.
I think it was.
I like taking my shoes off.
I don't think we lost that year at home either. So, I mean, kudos.
You did well.
Kudos to your shoes, or lack thereof.
That's right. I used basketball in 2002 where they went to the national championship.
Yeah.
Because of my sock agenda. I think that's not weird. I think that's good.
No, it's still weird. But it's good. But it's like the chicken. It's like chicken versus the egg. What was first? Is because your dogs were barking, and I'm guessing we sat pretty high.
We had like rotating seats. We were very high up there. So,
but not like weird. It's just it's a little.
That was one thing that happened. I don't find it. To me, that wasn't habitual. Like that was born out of one necessity, and then two like superstition / sports fandom. Right? It's like not washing your jock strap or something if you're a baseball player. I don't know, or the beard thing, right? Like people grow beards if they're in a playoff. To me, that's not weird. That's just like sports superstition, and so it's like one category. This is something that's like you do every day, and that is strange to me. It's strange to me. And I want to know, what's the other thing that you do that you told me that your wife also thinks this is weird.
She thinks it's insane, Ben. I mean,
I need to know. What is it?
Okay, so, I'm a bigger dude. I like to, I have to use the restroom. I'll go anywhere. I mean, I've had to take a shit before at Soldier Field. I mean, I don't really have a lot of shame. However, when my ass cheeks hit a public toilet, and it doesn't look the cleanest, and it doesn't have like the things you could put around the rim, which never work, I spit
Oh, the seat protector.
I spit on the seat and wipe it with toilet paper and kind of give it a little clean.
Wait, you spit and then wipe it,
And clean it off with toilet paper. Like if it's sketch, you know.
and you think that makes it cleaner? You think that makes it cleaner?
Well,
can I tell you my first thought?
Yeah.
One, I get it's born out of phobia. It's not making it cleaner.
No.
But my first thought is,
yeah, I agree.
God, the person that goes to the bathroom after you is living your nightmare. Like you're creating the horrible condition for the person that follows you. What if you knew that the person that sat on that toilet had spit on it right before they sat down in it?
I mean,
They mixed gas juice with their spit. Before it was just a butt cheek. The worst case scenario, they got a little poop on it, but you'd see
or
it.
pee.
But now you have invisible.
But it's
mouth.
not like I'm doing it to a clean seat. You know, it's gonna have some. It's not ideal, but sometimes you're in a situation.
You need to break this notion that spitting on the seat is somehow cleaning
Listen,
it.
what did I tell you? It's ridiculous. I know it's ridiculous. You're the only other person that knows besides my wife. It's ridiculous. But I'm honest. You ask me anything, I'm going to tell you the truth.
Everyone that has pooped at Soldier Field feels grosser now. Everyone's like, oh, God, what if I went after him? And it's like, oh, he's just sat in someone else's spit.
I was so,
like, what if he had a cold?
So hungover that day.
Cold germs in my butt.
I was so hungover that day.
Oh, my God.
Brutal. But yeah, I mean, I don't know what you expected, but when I told my wife that, she died laughing and thought I was a crazy person, which she's not far off. She's not. You know, I have some tendencies of doing ridiculous things out of habit. I have OCD tendencies. Like, this is something that I haven't been able to, it's not like all the time, but it's something I've done. But it's ridiculous. I know. Yes. It's hard for me to not do it. That makes sense.
Do you think it's cleaner? Is that
I think that's,
do you think you're,
yeah, I think that's what, I know it's really not, but it just gives me a little bit more sense of it's not as dirty.
If you take your daughter to a bathroom, if you take one of your girls to go and use the potty, do you spit on the seat then and wipe it for them?
Not yet. No, I haven't. If I needed to in a pinch.
Oh, what do you mean need to? How do you know if you need to or if you don't need to?
You're in a situation, if you're in a situation where you really have to go and there's not a lot of like that's what I'm saying. It's not all the time, Ben. It's when like you're in a crowded situation or there's not a lot of toilets. You go in one and it's just not clean. You know, you have to adapt. You make it seem like I just.
So wait.
These are dirty.
Take me back to Soldier Field.
Okay.
They're dirty how? Or do you think they're dirty? Are you seeing
pee on the seat?
Schmutz?
Pee on the seat and things like that. Like people peeing on the seat. That's what it mostly is.
Okay.
So I clean it the best I can.
Urine is like sterile.
I understand.
Spit,
but it is not mine. So here's the problem.
Do you spit on toilet seats if there's nothing on them?
No, I do not.
You know, I've been pooping in public. I don't like to, but obviously if I have to, I will. Mm-hmm. I've never done that. And I also never put down the protective layer. I just sit on it. I've tried it. I just raw dog shit out of the toilet seat and I just sit right on it. And I've never gotten toilet germs on my person.
I get it. What do you want me to tell you? What?
I want you to tell me that you've matured and realized it's no longer necessary to do that.
Yeah, sure.
In fact, you're creating a worse environment.
You're making it seem like I just did it. It's just the thing.
I don't know. You just said I went to Soldier Field and did that. I don't know. Maybe you went last week. I don't know.
15 years ago. 15 years ago. I am.
Yeah, but you said you do this like multiple times.
I've done it multiple times, yes. There's no denying it.
Your spit's not clean.
Okay, well.
Although I do the dad thing where you lick your thumb and you wipe the schmutz off your kid's face.
Well, yeah.
After he doesn't wipe, like wash his face or something. He gets like oatmeal.
I mean, I've wiped my kid's nose with my fingers and just wiped it on my shirt or just used my shirt, you know?
Yeah, I do that.
Like never in a million years could I do that to an adult. You know what I mean? Like
I will protest, especially if you don't know.
If I step in geese shit at the lake, which it happens, I'm repulsed. I'm scrubbing my foot with soap and water. Because the smell just doesn't go away, right? But now, I still probably would do that. But if I got my daughter's poop on my hand, it's not that big of a deal anymore. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And it's weird.
You become immune. Because I feel the same way. I deal with poop of my sons, and the dog. It's just like, I become numb to it. Yeah. Yes, this is gross. I don't freak out. I just, as fast as I can, clean the situation and go over and wash my hands with hot and soapy water. And then I forget
75% of the time that my daughter Jane throws up, she's got a weak stomach. She throws up on me 75% of the time. It was twice in one night once, and that was just a couple weeks ago. It's impressive.
Yeah, it's a nice warm feeling, isn't it? It's always warmer than you really remember or expect.
I would rather have it be me than the bed, than the carpet, because
oh yeah,
you know what I mean. So
you're mobile. You can go.
I'm trying to make
it's way easier.
I'm trying to make a human bowl out of it, make sure it doesn't drop on the floor.
Yeah.
But man,
being a dad changes your ick factor, right? Because you just have to dive into the grossness sometimes. You just I have to touch this poop, and I can't pass. I can't say no, right? Because it'll only get worse if I don't do this.
And most of your children's poop that you're changing isn't into a little ball that rolls onto the floor if you're not paying attention, because that has happened to me.
Yeah. Sure.
And that's the worst. You're like, oh no, it's like marbles. You're trying to catch them. You just can't.
Yeah, it's like a reverse hungry hippos. Sometimes they just roll all over.
So your boys are what? 5 and 3?
6 and 3.
6 and 3. Yeah, so first kindergarten, right?
Mostly kindergarten, yep. We're mostly out of the, they're mostly potty trained, right? Like, it's only accidents. I'm still doing the wipes, some of the time with the older one, most of the time with the younger one.
When is Emmett turn 4?
March.
Okay.
So he's almost 4.
Jane turns 4 in June. And so she got potty trained pretty well. Pacifier was great. Still trying to tell her you gotta wipe after you. She'll just sit down and pee and just pull up her underwear and she's out.
And just leave.
And then my youngest could give a shit. It's like, you want to learn how to wear underwear too? No, I sure don't.
Wait, but she's what, 2?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
But
when's her birthday?
August, middle of August.
Okay.
So
she's 2.5.
Yeah. So she should be there. Mainly because her older sister is potty trained. And, thick as thieves, she talked because of her sister. She should be want to learn how to use the potty, but she could give a shit. So
yeah, I think you got a little ways to go.
Yeah, probably. I mean, you start threatening with school. Like, hey, you can't go to school in a diaper. You just can't. So is Emmett in school a little bit?
Yeah, he goes to daycare.
Okay, daycare. But not like a school, like a preschool. Or do they teach him stuff too?
Yeah, I mean, they try to teach him stuff.
Okay.
They do, alphabet. Yeah, they work on letters and, numbers and days of the week and all that, the stuff you teach 3-year-olds.
Can he read music yet?
No. We're working on letters. So we're just now able to identify letters like A through Z.
Jane's getting there. They ABCs, count, all that stuff. But as far as animals, she knows all that stuff.
So my oldest one, I have very skewed perception on this. My oldest one, who is 6 now, didn't really have to do any of that. Watched all the, Daniel Tiger and all the stuff on YouTube about alphabet, and then, watched the song 100 times. And then just one day he could just read. He just figured it out by himself in YouTube.
How old?
And he doesn't have to sound it out. He could do this by the time he was 3. He could read. He was reading to his class without any problems.
So what level is he reading right now as a kindergartner? Or do they say that?
All these, they test him and they just have this range, and then it's like, oh, he's at the top. He maxed out the score or whatever.
So is he super smart or more super gifted at reading? Like math,
he is super
art, all that.
Reading, but he has other talents too. He can tell you every state capital, every country in the world. He can identify every country's flag in the world, and he can identify every country by its shape.
Stop it!
Yeah. So there's this game. There's a game. It's like Wordle. Do you know what Wordle is?
I sure do. Yeah.
Like Scrabble.
Uh-huh.
So they have one called Worldle.
Okay.
Hard to say. So every day they show you a picture of a country, just the shape of it without the name, and then you guess, and then it tells you if you miss, you get 5 guesses.
Okay.
If you miss, it tells you, oh, you're 100 miles off or whatever. He doesn't miss. He knows all of them. They just show him. He's like, that's Botswana. Next one, that's Argentina.
Can he spell pretty well?
He can. He's not as confident in spelling. He always asks me, but deep down, I know he knows.
Can he write?
Yeah, he can read just about
anything. Can he write? Can he write you a note?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, he can.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's a gift, though. Geography is a gift.
He's got incredible memory. Yeah, he can just remember everything.
Have you?
And then they call it hyperlexia. So instead of dyslexia, where it gets jumbled, somehow it's just easy, effortless for him.
So is he a speed reader then too? Does he read fast?
No, not necessarily.
My mom reads really, really fast.
He doesn't. He might. I don't know. But it's just he doesn't sound out the word. He just looks at it and knows what it is.
But he's 6 too, so I bet when he's a teenager, he's probably reading really, really fast. Because my mom, it's ridiculous. she doesn't know how she can do it, but I got to reread the fucking sentence like 7 times. Why did I just read?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I know. The comprehension is so slow. It's just like, oh, and then you read, and then like I do this with books. I'm like 3 paragraphs in, I'm like, oh, like my eyes are scanning the words. Like I don't really know what I'm reading here. My mind is somewhere else. Like I'm going through the words, and like, and then he went to the window, and like all the way down the page. Like I wasn't thinking that. I have to reread this. What's the story?
So
I'm just lost.
about your son with identifying countries, there's a game that I played very briefly. But I saw they were doing it on Barstool. There's one guy that works for Barstool, is really good at geography. He's like, sounds like your son. But so it almost looks like it's Google Maps, right? And it shows you, it shows you a picture from Google Maps, and you have to guess where it's at in the world.
Oh, I've seen this.
It is.
I haven't introduced him.
It's probably too much.
But he would be good at
eventually, yes. But I don't know if he would grasp. Like, I mean, I can't even. You're reading signs and trying to
show you
a random picture from Google Maps.
They show you
like
like a street view.
Street view. So like you can pick up
and then you
can pick up road signs, right? So then you have to know if it's German, and then you have to know where in Germany they're climbing. I mean, it's incredible. It is, and this kid is really good at it. But like you basically like forget like when you guess, it tells you that you're off by a certain amount of miles, but it doesn't tell you which direction. Or, anywhere. Yeah. So it's super cool. So, like, if you see something like that's the United States, you just got to get in the ballpark and you start whittling it down. But I think, like, this,
I don't know how people,
the quicker you do it, the better your score is. Like, as many guesses, I guess. You got to get within, like, 30 miles.
Every time I watch, I could never do that. Every time I watch a TV show, I think, oh, that's Atlanta. And it's not. It's like, oh, that's Vancouver. Like, I just think all of it. I was like, oh, that's where I live. Like, I don't think
there's a lot of TV that's shot in Atlanta.
There is, and it's throwing me, right? And then when I do see one that is shot in Atlanta, it takes me completely out of the show I'm watching. Now I'm like, oh, I know where that is.
Well,
and now I just want to like look for means.
A lot of those shows are done in Vancouver, right? Because it's cheaper rates and all that in Canada.
Yeah.
But they make it look like it's Texas.
Yeah. Well, they just say it is. Sometimes they really phone it in sometimes, but yeah.
So I have a question. And I think I know the answer. Have you ever done stand-up at all?
No.
Okay.
Never done
Would you consider doing a 5-minute set?
Maybe. How long do I have to prepare?
What do you mean? This is open-ended. This is an open-ended conversation. I have no desire to do it. I have no desire to do it again. But there's a little part of me that really wants to do it. Like a real, like, comedy store, do a real 5-minute set. But I'd only do it if you were doing it as well. I don't have any other desire to do it other than that.
Is it a competitive thing? Like, you want to see if you can get more laughs?
No, not at all. Not even crossed my mind.
You just want to go... yes,
I would probably talk to my brother Kenny too, because he's always wanted to do it. But it would have to be obviously something that we plan.
I would love to hear Kenny's stand up. He has the driest sense of humor that I've ever seen, and like he doesn't break. Like, you know how like some people when they're messing with you, like, oh, good joke, I've never heard that one before. Like, I genuinely don't know if he heard it before or not. Like, hey, do you really not hear this joke before, or are you messing with me? And he'll never tell you. You won't know.
But he's a really bad tick when he lies. When you think he's full of shit, you look in the eye, I'm like, is that right? Really? And he'll just crack a smile and he can't stop it. But Kenny would write a bunch of jokes and we would share jokes with each other. He did a lot more writing than I did.
Yeah.
But I think, I don't want to speak for him, but I don't think he's as confident on stage in front of everyone. But I know he can do it.
Yeah.
So.
See, I think I could get up on stage. I don't have stage fright. So I've had to get up for like my job and like conferences and like, do slides and present. Like, that doesn't bother me. And I actually try to go for laughs occasionally. Like, sure. if I know, and here's the other, if no one that I work with is in the room, then I'm constantly trying to go for laughs. But if other people that I work with, I can't do it then.
Why?
Like, I can't. I feel like they're me. I feel like they're like, oh, he wasn't professional, or he wasn't this or that. But if I'm like alone and there's like no one else there, like, oh,
he's got a good personality.
I'm trying to get a laugh.
I mean, I'm the same way. Like, but
But I would do a 5-minute set if I had ample time to write material and like,
Well, so I've done it.
Get comfortable.
I've done it like 4 or 5 times. But when I preface, but I preface it with, it's all people that know me and friends with me for the most part. So it's kind of like stacking the deck. And so I've never been like, I've never really truthfully think I've ever really done stand up. It's good practice. Sure. I mean, the first couple I had slideshows, pictures, and they helped me, remember the order.
I think that's okay.
Yeah. I was like Carrot Top.
A prop.
I was Carrot Top for my first time. I got super.
I said Pop Top.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
super wasted too.
Carrot Top gets so much shit. I saw that guy in concert in like 19. My sides hurt from laughing. I truly enjoyed it, and I'm not like it was.
I enjoyed him
like,
in the 90s, but the roids that he has taken and just the leathery skin is I can't anymore.
Look, he has a very intense look. Yeah, I can't quite get past that. But like his material, everyone kind of booed the prop comic stuff. But anyway, I think we should do it.
Okay.
I think we should like pick a time, like a year in advance.
Yes.
Start writing material. Try the material out on each other. My problem is like I don't know how to construct a joke. Like I feel like I could come up with funny ideas, but I don't quite know how I could put it down and like in that story form. But I'm willing to work on.
Well,
it.
so
yeah,
but like
yeah.
you probably want to get 5 laughs.
Yeah.
And I don't know this, but I'm just
That's many. I think you gotta get more. If you're doing an open mic night, a stand up.
okay. So a minute might be a little long, but in your story, I would say you'd probably want 4 or 5 laughs, and I think that story has to be quick to the point. You know.
Yes. Yeah. You can't take a while to get to the funny. You got to bring it right away.
Or you have to be really captivating how you're telling the story. But I don't think you and I have
True.
that. You know, Kramer on stage kind of thing. But
we haven't seen me on stage.
I haven't. No, I haven't. So, and then the last couple I did, I was really like, I didn't have any props. I didn't have it, you know, and I wasn't hammered, and I was telling legitimate, like, funny stories. So it's going to definitely take some time. The good news is doing 5 minutes, you really can, with time, hone it to what you want it to be, you know? So that's going to be...
I want to try.
So think about it this way.
So I have a story.
Okay.
No, I want to think about it your way. Tell me.
No, I was just going to say, like, I would do, in a 5-minute set, I would do, like, probably 10 little... And I would try to write it out in kind of an outline, if you will, early on.
Yeah.
And then I think Chappelle's the best at it that I've ever seen. He'll tell a joke in the beginning and tie it into the whole set. And that's...
Callback.
And that's
that's
an
right?
hour. You know, hour and 15 he's doing. It's incredible. But I think that's cool if you can figure out something to do in 5 minutes, you know, and tie it kind of back in.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. You gotta have the callback.
Yeah.
Yeah. So speaking of stand-up comedians, I have a great story for you. And this just happened Friday. I haven't even I did send you this text.
You text me, but there's a lot of details I needed to know.
I went to go see Tina Fey and Amy Poehler do it was like 2 hours, like a comedy show. And they went through and they did a weekend update kind of thing. And they talked about current events. They did like sections of stand up. They talked about their previous work. They're working together. They sang some songs, like a little variety hour. It was very nice, very funny. So I've always been a fan of them. And
sure, absolutely.
Jokingly, like me and my wife always like joke about who's on we call it the top 5.
Okay.
And it's the list of, and I think this was like a friends poll. Like you have 5 celebrities that if you get a chance to hook up with, they're your hall pass, right? It doesn't count. Like no one gets mad. And so we keep the list evolving. And at one point, like, you know, back in probably I think I mentioned how much of a Tina Fey fan I am because I think she's so funny.
Yes.
Right. I mentioned
she's way hotter.
Laughing. Yeah. I mean, hotter than, I'm not my comparison.
No, but I think,
I'm saying like I'm attracted to her.
I think she's very attractive, but the fact that she's very smart and funny brings her attractive level.
Oh, makes her more.
Correct.
Absolutely. Right. Yeah, absolutely. Right. It's so my wife texts me before the show and she's like, hey, like, you know, are you and Tina going to run away together or something to that effect? Like she's on your list. Ha ha ha. And I say to her, I was like, yep. I was like, you know, just in case she's just taking randos from the audience, like, it's good to know that you won't be offended. And I kind of nearly poo-pooed the notion. But then we go to the show and her and Amy Poehler are talking to the audience, like, how many Gen Zs are the audience? People clap and they make a joke about, oh, well, we're here for you. We hear you. You're in a safe space. And they're making jokes like based on the group that they're calling out. And so they're going down the line and then there's, how about how many dads that have us listed as their hall pass? She referenced, Tina was speaking, and she goes, based on me from 20 years ago. And they don't drop the bit. They're like, anyone? And they're looking at the audience like this. They're like, is anyone out there? And so my wife is now cackling because I am that person. So I'm raising my hand. And she's pointing at me, and I start pointing at me.
Are you the only one raising your hand?
Here's one. She goes, stand.
Are you the only one raising your hand?
I'm the only one doing. Yeah, I'm the only one.
How many seats?
So they point to me. They're like, "Hey,
I need more details. How many seats are in this arena?"
It's Fox Theater in Atlanta.
Been there.
There has to be 1,000. couple of hundred, right? It's a
No,
huge
it's bigger than
place,
1,000. I think it might be 3.
right? Yeah, I mean, it's huge. Like Elvis played there 5
Were you
times.
close?
So I don't know. Yes, we were very close. We had like 7th row tickets. So we were like a stone's throw from the audience. I was just outside the orchestra pit.
Okay,
And
so you raise your hand, your wife's pointed to you, eyeballs are coming to you.
And then that's right. And so she goes, stand up. And so I stood up, and then they put this crazy blue spotlight on me. And she goes, what's your name? I was like, it's Ben. And she goes, Ben. And everyone, the audience is howling now, right? Everyone's clapping, going crazy. And she just looks at me, she goes, so we doing this? And everyone dies of laughter. And I was like, absolutely. Like I was stunned. I wanted to say something really clever, but I was like stage
Was
fright.
was there a mic around? Could she have heard you? She obviously heard Ben, maybe.
Yeah, well, I was close enough. Yeah. She heard my name and she repeated. She goes, "So Ben." So she knew my name. She goes, "So we doing this?" I got to.
In hindsight, the things you could have said, like my room or yours.
I know.
Your dressing room big enough.
I know. I wish.
Does Tina need?
I would have had.
Can Tina film it, or can Amy Poehler film it?
Can Amy?
Yeah.
That would have been really good, but I had nothing. Yeah, it was just like everyone cheered, and then I just sat down and they went on to the next thing.
That's awesome.
Which was like, in hindsight, I was disappointed that I didn't say anything, but also like it would have been worse if I'd have tried to be funny and missed.
Correct. Right?
Like your line, like, can Amy feel it? That would have been funny. But if I'd have been, said something stupid, like it would have been, I think it would have been worse. I just agreed. I said, absolutely.
Yeah.
Right. And then I sat down, which I think was
it's their show. It's something easy you could.
Right. Exactly. No one's there to see me.
It's something easy you could have done without saying anything, is just be like, and then like look at your watch, and, like, and shake your head like that. You know what I mean?
No. I told her absolutely. So I gave her like that it's on. She's like, "Are we doing this?" But isn't that crazy that I had this very like crazy call out experience that now Tina Fey knows that she's on my list, that she's on my hall pass list, that she was in my hall pass list with my wife.
Do you think it?
And that we called it before.
That's the most impressive part, is you called it. The problem is
that my wife. Yeah, said that was crazy, and I was dismissive of it. And then it actually happened, and I had other people that we knew who were at the show in like random other spots texted my wife. She's like, "I know where you guys were sitting," because everyone I was briefly famous, which isn't that great. It was more jazz that like I had an interaction with Tina Fey about her being on my top 5 list.
So was it just you two guys together, the show?
It was me and my wife, then 2 of her friends, and then we had another couple that we went out to dinner with that were sitting in a different spot in the theater.
Did you ask the hypothetical? Like, look how close this came. Would you have really been okay with it? You know what I mean? Like, that's as close as close as 99 people will ever get.
Right? Like the acknowledgement, and she knows my name.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I didn't actually like dive into the details, but I think that's the name of the game, right?
Yeah.
Like, listen. She's on the list. That's it. That's kind of, you don't squash someone's dreams. Like my wife has Mark Ruffalo.
Okay.
Is like her number
handsome.
1, which I think strange.
Very handsome.
I guess. Not like, but I wouldn't have called that he's like handsome in a way that is like that. I don't know. But anyway, like I wouldn't be like, take it back if that's like, I don't know. I'd be like, yeah, you have to for the experience.
Right.
Like, I wouldn't be like, well, you can't really do it. Like, it's Mark Ruffalo. Like, don't leave the family to go be with him. But if he's down for a clown, then I think, you go for it.
It's a great story.
I'm happy to have had the experience. I feel very special and very honored that Tina Fey knows my name and she knows I'm interested in it. So I think the ball. I think
the best part is you couldn't have found a better way to tell a celebrity that they're on your list, or less creepy of a way. I mean,
them asking was ideal, right? That I don't have to.
Yeah, but it's like, how else do you do it? Like, you see one right in person, you're like, have your autograph, you're on my list. Like, that's weird, right? But the way that it was presented is fantastic.
I bet that has to happen a lot, right? Like, because it's a thing, it's a cultural thing. Like, it didn't take very, very much explanation. Like hall pass, right? Or like top 5. That was from a TV show, I think, right? Like, these are known quantities.
Was she referring to Sarah Palin?
Yes, it came up. Somebody said like, well, one, they kept showing clips too from the show, from like 30 Rock and SNL and Parks and Rec. So they would splice the things in while they were like going to change. They changed outfits a bunch of times. And so they would show like some of their old stuff. And then like she said, like someone asked them, she took questions from the audience at the end. Someone asked, what would you guys do if you were on SNL today, like current event wise? Like, who would you play? And she goes, well, I think it makes a lot of sense. We would play Lauren Boebert and Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Yes.
Because she had played like Sarah Palin. I was like, oh, I could totally see that. Yeah.
That chick's crazy.
So it was a good show. Oh yeah. They're
the one where
yeah.
Well, that's awesome that it happened. But back to stand up.
I know. Back to stand up. We do. I think we do 5 minutes. We do a type 5, and then we find an open mic night either in Fort Wayne or probably in Fort Wayne because I think we get more people that we know to pack the audience.
Yeah, I don't necessarily want to. I don't necessarily want to do that. I want to bring some people. Like
why?
Because I want it to be as authentic as possible.
Why don't we do the Friends show and then we can come here and do it and then see the comparison?
Okay. Because my other thought was Indy.
No one.
Or we go to Austin.
Or
we go to Austin and go to.
Why not come to it?
Go to Austin. Joe Rogan's place. Do you ever see?
Oh, he has a stand-up fight.
Yeah. Do you ever see Kill Tony on social media or whatever? And I think he's some comedian. He's pretty funny, and he has like Rogan and all these other comedians on stage, and basically these guys from the audience come out and give a couple minutes, and then those panel just basically roast the dude, and then the dude tries to roast it back.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I have seen this. Yes, I have. I didn't. Okay, I didn't know the person's name was Kill Tony. I thought that was like, we want to kill. Okay, that makes way more sense. Yes, I know what you're talking about.
So I think he was just on Joe Rogan. I actually listen to some things Joe does because when he has funny comedians on, I like to listen to it.
Yeah,
but all the political shit, I could give a fuck because it's all like conspiracy theories. But I want to listen to this guy and see more about the show because I've never really seen the show. You know what I mean?
Oh, I don't want to do I don't want to be like roasted by a panel of like actual stand-ups and tell me how terrible I am. I don't want that.
I don't think they tell you your material's bad. They just make fun of your appearance.
I also don't.
Oh man, I do.
I'm self-conscious.
I want to go to a show and be made fun of by someone on stage. I would love that.
I can just do that right now. You want me to just make fun of your looks right
now?
No,
I mean,
talk about Family Guy resemblance.
It's an easy one.
There's a guy on like social media who he goes by like Peter Griffin, and I gotta say, he does look like him, but I think you could compete. Like,
I don't think I look that much like him. Huh?
It's a little bit.
The chin's way off. It's just the fat face. That's it. I don't laugh like him. I don't talk like him.
You could like you could change your affect. It's okay. Listen. The last time we spoke, I had homework to do, and I haven't. So we're talking about how my non-friend life status. I invited a young man over to my house for a pool party, and he came over dressed all in black with a stocking cap on.
Yeah, sounds awesome.
And you wanted me to follow up if he, what his status was. So I do have an update.
I feel like, there's definitely more to this guy than what you were presented with.
So this is going to reflect poorly on me, and that's okay. So not only, we said there's no way this guy's married. He was married to that young lady. They had children. Not only that, but their children go to the same school as my children.
Yowza.
So our kids go to the same school. Yeah. So, and in fact, now that I've been clued in, my wife has pointed out to me, and you've seen him at this school. Like, you've run into this person. Like, no kidding.
Did you?
So, and I didn't even remember that he had been to my house.
I don't know if I asked you, what did she say about his appearance at your pool party? Did she think it was weird? Your wife.
His wife? Or my wife. Yes. Oh, yes. Okay. We definitely.
So you clearly
spilled the tea and be like, what's up?
So you probably talked to her about how we talked about it. How I just think I can't believe it. The wife let him leave to go to a pool party dressed like that. Is he in a band as his career? What does he do for a living? Is he an artist?
No.
A street performer?
No, none of that. Just some regular schmucky job like the rest of us have.
Does he get sun poisoning really easily?
I didn't delve into that part, but that is a possible explanation. And I mean, if you want me to like argue his side,
I would love it.
Technically we all wear costumes, right? We all put together this appearance that we want to put together to the outside world. His just didn't happen to fit in with the environment that he was going to be in. Right. Like, and maybe he was going to go see, a My Chemical Romance show after the pool party.
That makes sense.
I don't know if they're still together or what. Right. Maybe he was going to go do that. And that's the only way. But yet, I still don't want to be friends with it. Like, what are you doing?
Well, there's a good chance that your guys' kids are going to be friends. And if that's the case, I have a feeling we're going to know more about this cat. I really do.
Oh, you know what? Wouldn't that be something? So then my kid and his kid, like they get good friends, and then he comes back for another swim party.
Yes.
Oh, this is the ultimate
Next
test.
year.
I kind of want this to happen
Next year. Yeah.
now. I'm gonna create a situation to get this person back in my house to see if he shows up in the same way, or if he's like, now that he has like obviously a kid, the kid has grown. Like if he's like, oh no, I'm a dad, I'm a swim.
Is
now.
his kid in your kid's class?
No, they might be the same age. I think they're the same age, but they're not in the same class.
Well, it sounds like we got to figure.
So there's like 4 kindergartens.
Sounds like we got to figure out.
Since he obviously lives in Uni, so I don't think it'd be that hard to
they could be
orchestrate. Like
they could be in first grade next year, for all we know, together. You know,
that's right. They could, yes.
Or we could.
So shortly,
yeah, we could also orchestrate ways to get your son to be friends with this kid. You know, we can orchestrate, set things up.
Obviously, my wife, we have a shared friend somewhere, right? He didn't show up at my house randomly, so I just think I need to recreate this situation and be like, and have it under the guise like, oh yeah, our kids know each other. Come on over,
social experiment,
and then just see.
Big social experiment.
Yes,
I think we're onto something.
Okay, now let's take this up a notch. So over the summer, right, when it's warm enough to swim, I want to get this person to come over to my house and to swim and to see what he's dressed as. And then I think we up level this. I think we then get him to come on as a guest on this show and talk about why he and I aren't friends. And he can tell you a story of why he came to the house dressed like he was dressed.
But that's why you can't be friends with him.
I'm not saying we can't. I'm just saying we aren't.
And that's a big.
I mean, maybe we can be. I'll be honest. Like, I don't know if I could be friends. It'd be tough.
Well,
I don't know if can I forgive that.
Sounds like it's a barrier that we need to break down, Benjamin. I think so. I think so. I'm interested in this guy. I would want to know if he's on here. Like, why would you wear that to a pool party? It's almost like you shouldn't go.
I think so.
So,
yeah, I think it could make for an interesting topic.
Yeah.
So I think we should explore.
I love it. Well, hey, maybe we should wrap it up
Me too.
now. It's been an hour.
Okay, I like it.
Let's do another one next week sometime.
Let's do it. Okay.
I don't know if you have a day that works best.
People are applauding. Oh. Yeah, people like it.
We have any...
Their outro music. Thanks, everybody.
That sounded like a 70s porn.
Yeah.
That's a 70s
That's
porn.
all I played.
Debbie Does Dallas is what that was.
I haven't seen it.
That's a classic.
But, you watch what you want.
Debbie Does Dallas in the 70s. Like every guy in Dallas. All right. Well, thanks for second edition of Dads Without Friends. So thanks for being a part of it, and we'll see you soon.
Bye, everybody.
Good work.